Watch us via Roku on your smart TV. Submit your own content on info@millenniumnews24.com. Download the Millennium News 24 app from the App Store to stream our shows anywhere, anytime. Stay tuned with Millennium TV and Millennium News 24 for the latest updates.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. This is Universal Pathway, and I'm your host, Curtis Douglas Ill. Today, I'm truly honored to be in the studio with a gentleman that it's the second time he's actually going to be on the show today, Mr. Carl Gray. He's the CEO, chairman, and president of the Young, Gifted, and Black Entrepreneurial Awards. Also, the CEO of the Net Links Group. And this man truly needs no introduction. He's basically a trailblazer doing a lot here in Queens, Jamaica, and just overall on a global basis. So with that being said, I just want to take the opportunity to welcome Mr. Carl Gray. How you doing, my good brother?
Pretty good, Curtis. Thank you for having me come back to this great platform you have.
Thank you. I just want to get right into it. Belated birthday and just personal vision. You pretty much celebrate your birthday. I think it was Thursday of this week. And so I just want to say, happy birthday to you. I trust you had some friends who took you out and show you a great time. And I think you said the celebration continues even into tonight. So don't do it up too big, my brother. I know this is New York City. It's kind of cold out there. But definitely, as a leader who has poured decades into uplifting our people, what reflections did this birthday bring, and what personal mission and focus are you carrying into this new year of life?
Oh, wow.
Spinning right into
it. you putting it right in front of me. Well, exactly. I look at it like this, Curtis. Every year that we are given to celebrate the gift of life, there should be a level of progress, right?
Most definitely.
In some way, shape, or form. We all experience challenges in a lot of different areas, whether it's family, whether it's in business, personal, mental challenges. There are so many. For me, this particular year of celebrating my birthday is about reflecting on family and the importance of family, right? And not just blood family, but the individuals that you bring into your circle or that are in your circle.
Most
that
definitely.
Are there to either uplift you, keep you on the straight and narrow, motivate you. And so for me, it's, making sure to eliminate the negatives that are out there and try to surround myself with key individuals like yourself and others who want to be in the boat and row that boat with me, right? There's a saying, know who's in your boat, know who's either poking holes in your ship or those who are trying to help you, get across that great divide. And over this last 20 years of life, wink, right? I've had great relationships that have given me an opportunity wherein self-growth and, being more in tune with where I am, especially in these, with the awards program and such, and where we're taking it, because it is a challenging platform to give honor. You would think it's easy, but it's a very challenging platform. And so with that, I keep myself steadfast in the belief the Young, Gifted, and Black Entrepreneurial Awards is a viable, needed, community-based program, wherein giving those flowers or making those acknowledgments is needed to inspire those who who need to be uplifted and need to be empowered. And with that, I continue this dream in so many different ways.
Most definitely. It's truly an honor. Like I said, the impact that you've been doing and been making ever since I met you. You've always been a go-getter, whether it be between Jamaica, the Caribbean, and just making things happen. Uh, and definitely from a humanitarian perspective and just your leadership in general. Recently, Jamaica got hit with this hurricane. It was tremendous. We're talking about St. Elizabeth for the most part. There's a whole reconstruction that's going on in different parts of Jamaica. And I saw where you basically, strap your boots up and you got on the horn and you basically did a call. I think it is you work with the Foundation of Bounty Killer and other individuals of that nature. As a leader who has poured decades into uplifting our people, you know, this Hurricane Melissa scenario, the mobilization that you did was tremendous. What move and act? You moved and act so quickly. What does that experience teach you about the diaspora responsibility and just leadership and global unity in general?
Melissa opened the eyes to a lot of us in many different ways. And the fact that it devastated the island of Jamaica, my homeland,
Mm-hmm.
And for me, that is all it took. When Hurricane Beryl hit the island last year,
Mm-hmm.
we started a call, myself and one of my business partners in Jamaica, Shauna Fung Yi, to galvanize our Jamaican communities, both abroad and in the diaspora. And the call to action was really simple. Let's make sure we get the communication out to say who should individuals go to that are vetted, approved, accredited to send donations, items, and such. And we did a great job. We met with a lot of different organizations and we put together this platform's Jamaica for Jamaicans. When Melissa hit, it became a more stronger push on my end, wherein not just to communicate information and vet that, but
Mm-hmm.
now to really roll up the sleeves and get individuals behind this whole effort of rebuilding Jamaica and other islands that were devastated, but
Definitely.
Jamaica being hit initially. And one of the great things I would have to say Melissa did was just to see globally how many individuals and organizations and countries came in aid of Jamaica. It
Most
was
definitely.
it was very powerful to see that,
Yes, it was.
and as this rebuilding effort continues, right, we can't lose sight of you know the initial push. We got to continue to push, right? I had the ability to work with some key organizations, right? Because it wasn't just myself alone. There's many others. I'm a small fish in the pond, you know. I just tried to, see how to do my effort
Most
and
definitely.
see what I can contribute. And with that, we worked with a lot of different organizations on the ground in Jamaica. We had the Kiwanis Foundation. We had the Lay Magistrate Foundation. We had, from Food for the Poor, Caribbean Strong, Caribbean Food Delights here, Dreams for Jamaica, Jaja Foundation, Jam Pack. There were so many organizations both on the ground in Jamaica and here that came together to assist in that global effort, right? And so, I am happy and I'm very proud that, the team that came together, we from the YGBN and working with others, we were able to, send down 3 containers of medical supplies to the island, in addition to relief goods for care packages, which were in progress, and we've started distribution this January out to various hospitals and areas. So very proud of that, and the work continues, right? And it's just a call to action, Curtis. We just don't want to focus on, there are going to be others that devastations, that will come up, and hopefully the lessons learned, we're able to move quicker. We're able to, deal with these situations as they come up, and be more proactive, and have a plan of action that aids to the needs of these impacted areas around the globe.
Most definitely. I agree with you totally. I've seen it firsthand. I was with you in Brooklyn. The Millennium News Network was there when you worked with that school, and pretty much just gathered many of the individuals locally in Brooklyn in different areas just coming in to bring their donations. So again, honors to you for just doing everything that you've been doing as it pertains to just the uplifting of the people in Jamaica and the Caribbean in general. Interestingly enough, I'd be a witness to the fact that I actually went out to Staten Island, and in going into one of the precincts in Staten Island to assist someone who needed some assistance, I saw a box, and that box basically was pertaining to what it is that you were doing, and it just shows the reach, of just your efforts. So again, honors to you as it pertains to that. Through the YGB Awards, you have spent nearly 2 decades recognizing unsung heroes, and ones might not realize the impact that you've been making in the community in general. These are people who are professionals in their fields, who are making impact unnoticed, and you've taken the initiative, co-founded with others, and you continue to bring this initiative forward. My question is, this platform and your aspect of building is more important than a one-time recognition. So a lot of times people might come and they get the recognition. So the question is, how does that philosophy guide your work and just keep you going as far as this motivation in general?
Well, let me just first say that, the awards is a labor of love, right? I had to come to an understanding as the award started growing that it's no longer my vision, right? It's
Indeed.
bigger than myself, right? And I am a person that I'm a team builder. And, this is not something I can do alone. And so again, as I, started our conversation, it's about getting the right people around you, right? And so what has blossomed into a very, I would say, empowering platform, right, is being able to, highlight these unsung heroes and heroines in our communities that whose story, Curtis, needs to be heard. Really simple. The platform that has been built allows for that. But we just don't want to give away awards. It's always great to be honored. It's always to give those flowers, while the person is around, But the real appeal here is what those individuals represent, right?
Indeed.
And what they bring to the table, and how they're impacting their community. And so what we're devising as we're moving forward, both locally, nationally, and globally, is to create this platform wherein we empower individuals. We give people an alternative view as to what success really means, right? It's not just about trying to become the top basketball player or sports athlete, but there are doctors, lawyers, small business owners that their story and their dedication to want to do something different, and then their give back to their community
Most
is
definitely.
so, it's so important to understand, you know. And so when I look at the roster of individuals that are being honored this year, I would have to say it's one of the best things when we say the chain is as strong as its weakest link.
Most definitely.
We have individuals who we've honored before, members of the Caribbean diaspora, such as a David Levy,
Hmm.
with one of the number one Caribbean broadcasting programs globally. When he was part of my initial, I'm talking 2006, one of my initial
Wow.
honorees, right?
Wow. Wow.
And here it is. We're giving him a Lifetime Achievement Award in Caribbean radio broadcasting, right? With
That's
those
awesome.
trademark sayings, rocking you, rocking you. But it's when you look at his body of work, you have to say, wow, David, look at what you've done. You know,
Indeed.
you're streamed globally. You have created these platforms, Caribbean Fever, Feverize. The list goes on. He's been on, simultaneous broadcasts on 3 Korean programs. He's at the top of the food chain on WBLS 107.5 FM. And then we have individuals like a Dr. Bill Tingling, right? Global humanitarian, and the work that he's done in the educational platform, and who is spearheading the first ever here in the New York City area Jamaica Day Parade,
Wow.
which will be occurring in August of this year.
Okay.
The list goes on. We've been invited to Africa with one of our other global icons, the King Osede Kwesi of Ghana. And he is invited us to the Akumpum Kingdom's 200th anniversary festival
Hmm.
of this year. The list goes on, Curtis, and I sit back. We have individuals in the medical field. Dr. Afia Wilson, who is one of the premier colorectal surgeons in the U.S. I never even knew about that until
Wow.
it continues. Sister Emily Bay, right? The
Indeed.
work she's doing as a small business owner and a member of the Morris Science Temple of America. The
Indeed.
list
Indeed.
the list goes on. I could sit here and talk about the who's who, but I want people to come out and feel my energy and feel the energy that room provides, right?
Most definitely.
Every year. And then there are just individuals that have never gotten an award ever, right?
Indeed.
And this allows them to, I've seen, individuals tear up because it's their first time. It's a beautiful experience. And when we think about where we're taking the awards, what the awards have brought to the table, the individuals that are being honored. This year, actually, just to make note, I've never done a posthumous award. And
Mm.
I happened to sit down after went to have some, dinner after the funeral of our late CG, Alcyon Wilson, here in New York. And as I'm sitting down and having conversations with some young ladies in the room, I find that I was talking to Peter Tosh's daughter.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, oh, wow, I've never done posthumous awards, right? Because we're not a music platform, we're lifestyle, we're community, but we like to acknowledge individuals in the entertainment side, right? And
Most
so
definitely.
YGB had created a um, YGB Hall of Fame to identify some of our icons and trailblazers in music. So we've given honors to the Beres Hammonds of the world, the Rita Marley, the Bourgeois, the Bounty, Marshall. List goes on. Richie Stevens, individuals, Tony Rebels, who have all impacted, that particular genre, right? And so we're honored that we, have been green lighted. We're going to give a posthumous award to Peter Tosh on behalf of his foundation, and we look forward to February 25th. I'll plug it out there, guys. Get your tickets, come on out, be a part of this. Go to ygbawards.org, and be a part of the celebration. We are entering into, I'm not going to use the word, Curtis, we're entering into brilliant people of color. Um, we'll call it February's Excellence Month, right? And at the end of the day, it's a celebration of excellence across the board, right? And I just want individuals to come out and be a part of this great, one of the best professional networking platforms in which we feature these individuals.
Well said. And the award ceremony that you've been doing, and just the plethora of people that you just named, and I know it's pretty difficult. You've been doing this for 21 years. This is the 21st year. It's challenging to decide who to basically say during this interview, and by no means can you say everyone, but I know that you've done tremendous work in keeping just the flame alive on the website and having everyone there. So one can definitely go to that website to see that the event is at in Queens at the Terrace on the Park.
That's correct. So it's Wednesday, February 25th. Will be from 6 to 11. It's a premium black tie gala fundraiser, right? And it's at Terrace in the Park in Queens, New York. And as I said, tickets can be purchased by just simply going to our website and click on purchase at ygbawards.org. We definitely want to keep the early bird special open, right? Because this is a fully catered event, and we want to make sure we get as many people in. We have done great numbers over the years, and we want to continue that, right? And it's always good to play dress up, right? But it's the stories, it's the energy in the room. It's that and I want to make sure I make this. It's not about a celebrity for us, right? It's about the peer-to-peer acknowledgement of someone that right? The process is very simple to us, right? You go on our portal, you go in and you nominate someone. Give us reason why they're being nominated, and we will do the rest. We'll do the research. We will, go through and see how that person, if that person is the best orange peel on the corner, we want to hear about it, right?
Most definitely.
If they're at the top of the food chain, because I have a list of honorees that, especially if I was to just base this off alumni honorees, right? The list goes on because, there are those that over the course of time, 10 years ago to now, they've elevated their brand, and we want to continue to acknowledge those individuals because they keep the trend going. And, this helps us to further this platform. we're now looking into some really special projects, but we just don't want to give out awards. We're looking into, we're in a whole digital age. So we're looking to put together a program right now that will help to aid the inner city kids when it comes to digital transformation, right? That's one of the goals that our fundraiser is looking to do right now, right? And, those are things that are motivating us to continue this platform, right? So if you can't make it, donate to it, right? Everything is on our site. We have some, really cool information out there, and get involved. Let's support an initiative. Let's support our communities, and let's empower each other. Right. This is what it's all about.
Most definitely. As you were speaking, I just think about just the various different organizations that you've brought together over the years, and the NetLinks group is a part of that. You're always bringing people together. And I think, and hopefully in just our conversation, I don't want ones to be concerned in utilizing words such as quote unquote black, etc. I mean, you said colored, but the fact of the matter is, as a people, we're busy attempting to go back to a national standard of things. So by no means am I trying to beat a point. All I'm really saying is we're going into this month, and he was concerned in saying Black History Month, right? But I just keep it very
I
simple.
wanted to say Black Excellence Month, Curtis, but in respect to the knowledge that you have presented, and let's just put it out there. What
Yes.
does Black represent, right? And
Correct.
over the years of having real debates and conversations with you, you have identified what the term Black really means: absence of light, right? And it is actually, in certain people's eyes, it's become a default, right? Where the default is to categorize us in a race as Black, okay? Versus saying, Asiatic people or Nubians, in that perspective. So I do respect and understand, because not everybody understands it as you do, but you have delivered that message to me, right? That, never, who knows, behind me, you'll see this, picture of one of our anniversaries, one of our key anniversaries back in 2010. And, when you see young, gifted, and Black, right? A song that was brought up by, Nina Simone. And that song has been done over in so many different artists over the years and versions, right? But I give you credit because you give historical context to these things that we might overlook, right? So you never know, down the line we might change it from young, gifted, and Black to young, gifted, and brilliant, right? Just so we can take in a more global approach in regards to, again, from where we were to where we are to where we're going, right?
Most definitely.
And at the end of the day, the program is that continued pursuit of success. That is our tagline, right? And I always appreciate the fact that you definitely give us, or have given me, the insight based on your knowledge and historical perspective.
And honest for you to receiving and just listening. The truth of the matter is, and I've always said this to you, you remind me of Marcus Garvey. You really do. Just your love for your people. And sometimes the word that we utilize is what they resonate with now based on the promotion. And what quote unquote Black history really is a promotion based on those who have the funding, who strip the very people, the Moors, of their nationality. And that's all it really is. So until we ourselves, like you and I, and different events, we have to continue to build. Why? Because the work is vast. It really is. So I would never discount the contribution that you've made. And interestingly enough, I volunteered your service to be at an event in March, okay, with Melanin Vallejos, right? She was here on the platform. Yes. So we got to go on the Melanin couch and support not the couch itself, but the event in March. All right. So you're gonna have to be at that event. So with that being said, we're gonna go to a quick commercial, but we'll be right back.
Welcome to Millennium News 24, your trusted source for accurate, unbiased news. We're here to bring you the stories that matter most from America and around the world with integrity and a commitment to truth. In today's world, where misinformation can easily spread, having access to reliable news is more important than ever. At Millennium News 24, we aim to cut through the noise by delivering clear, fact-based reporting. Whether you're following major events or looking for in-depth analysis, we are here to serve you with transparency and respect for all communities regardless of color, wealth, or religion. This beautiful America was built by the resilience of its people, immigrants, entrepreneurs, doctors, and everyday individuals working together to create something great. It's this spirit that inspires us to provide you with news that's inclusive, honest, and relevant. We believe that informed citizens are the foundation of a strong society, and we strive to give you the knowledge you need to make a difference. From breaking news to insightful features, we bring you comprehensive coverage on politics, economics, health, culture, and much more. We believe that everyone deserves access to the truth, and we are proud to be a part of a global network that connects people through information. Stay informed by following us on your devices, including iOS, Android, Roku, Amazon, Apple TV, and Smart TVS. And for global access, we're also available on Horizon Satellite. Visit us at www.millenniumtv24.com or www.millenniumnews24.com to stay updated at Millennium News 24. Our mission is to promote unity, understanding, and progress in a rapidly changing world. Join us as we work to inspire positive action through the power of truth. Thank you for watching. Follow us, subscribe, and stay informed.
Welcome back. This is Universal Pathways, and I'm your host, Curtis Douglas Ill. And today I have the privilege and honor to be in the studio with Mr. Carl Gray. He's the CEO of the Young Gifted and Black Entrepreneurial Awards and the Netlinks Group. Prior to the commercial just now, he touched on the fact that he's involved in youth initiatives as well. So, this is someone who has been very involved with the inner city youths and have a very deep connection with them. From your perspective, what is the greatest obstacle facing our youth today, and what must community and leaders do differently to truly change outcomes?
Wow. Well, one of the biggest obstacles that I see is the need to give our youths options. And when I say give them options, give them the tools that they need so they can make insightful decisions moving forward, right?
Indeed.
That is through providing resources. One of our focuses, we created the Toolbox program, right?
Uh-huh.
And the Toolbox program is a platform that is an acronym that stands for Taking Ownership of Life by Offering Experience, right? And it's a mentorship platform. It's a platform in which it can help in the youths having an awareness where we have mentors have sat with them to talk through and give them guidance as to, well, depending on the age group or where they are, well, what are you looking to do? What's your inspiration?
Most definitely.
And with this network that has been created through YGB, Curtis, we have so many resourceful people.
Mm.
And I use myself as an example, as a first generation Caribbean um, coming over, and I wasn't aware of a lot of the resources that were available to me as a student when was in school,
Mm.
because um, I didn't have good direction as to what I needed to go. Where should I apply to? What are some programs that are open to me?
Most
You know,
definitely.
how should I? What is the platform? What are the steps that I need in order for me to now go from point A to point B to be successful? You know, and that's, I think, one of the biggest things is giving students the knowledge as to what should they do. It's not just about going to school, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's the knowledge that you're going to take from that in order to move on to, you know, the other levels of education that you need to apply to make it in life. When I was finishing my bachelor's degree in college, I was blessed to have a um, gentleman on a trading desk when I was in the financial sector, right?
Mm-hmm.
He was the only person of color on a trading desk, right?
Uh-huh.
And he graduated out of Michigan University. And he
Okay.
said, hey, it was about, I don't know, about 1920, somewhere in that. And he said to me, so Carl, you're about to get your degree. What are you going to do with it?
Mm.
I gave him the school answer. I thought he was giving me a trick question, right?
Wow.
But
Wow.
I said, I'm gonna get my degree and I'm, gonna get a better job. And he said, that's not how it works.
Wow.
You have to know how to build a network.
Mm.
And with that, you need to get yourself involved, and you need to, you know, go, just like if you're opening a business, you have to go do the research, right? To find out how it is you're going to build that particular business. Students, we have their STEM programs out here there, but we need to give them guidance and insight as to how to move along the process. And that is my passion,
Wow.
giving our youths an opportunity based on what I saw for myself, right? To
Mm-hmm.
say, hey, some of the pitfalls that I experienced, right?
Wow.
These are some areas that you need to explore. These are the lessons learned, right?
Mm-hmm.
Here is where you can go to get certain knowledge. And what that trader did for me was he gave me information to say, here are alternative means by which back then we didn't have diversity, equity, inclusion programs when I was,
Indeed.
you know, it
Yes.
wasn't there. The company that I was with, I was told, because I was internal, I wasn't coming from a top 10 or Ivy League school. My percentage of getting into what was called these high level managerial programs was less than 1%.
Mm-hmm.
But through networking and through given an opportunity to meet key individuals, right? And be open to be, you got to have a sense, you got to put your, what I would call, you got to be willing to learn,
Most definitely.
right? You have to open yourself to knowledge transfer, right? If our young people are not open to that, they're going to be blocked
Indeed.
because no man is an island, right? And a lot of these things we don't have to recreate the wheel for. I use a lot of AI right now in a lot of the things that I do. If a young person is not utilizing AI platforms right now, I believe it's said they're not going to be able to be competitive in the marketplace
Wow.
because AI is going to take away intermediate jobs that would have allowed our young people coming out of college to do, because now AI can do this for you. But AI still has to be programmed, right?
Hmm. Most
So
definitely.
at the end of the day, our students need to be aware, and this is why this platform that we're trying to create, the digital equity entrepreneurial program, is to create that transformational platform for our inner city youths that don't have the access. And we want to give them that access. Knowledge is power.
Most definitely. Wow. Knowledge
So
is power.
knowledge is power. And if we don't, transfer these things over to our young people, we're failing as a society, right? Because,
Most definitely.
the statement always says it takes a village, right?
Indeed. Indeed.
So
Indeed.
that is what I would say is the roadblock for our young people today. The internet is there, yes, but they still need individuals like myself and others to give them guidance, to say, hey, look into this, because that's what I had to do. I had to look into different programs. I had to look at various options, look at, and figure out how best through having mentors out there that I can talk to so I can make my moves. And I'm still learning to this day, right?
Most
It's just
definitely.
part of the process.
Most definitely. I agree with you totally. We got to be able to create those platforms and also share the insight to mold the thoughts and the minds of our younger, to make sure that they not only do they not fall in the pitfalls that fell into and had to learn and adjust, but like you said, AI being a tool, and it's going to need bright minds, brilliant minds, young, gifted, and brilliant minds to direct those AI, right? So we know that there's brilliant intelligence that now direct the very tool. So toolbox, great acronym. And again, deep, the brother went deep just now. So honest to you as it pertains to that. We know that a lot of times ventures such as this, needs a lot, right? And with the Young Gifted and Black Awards celebration, the excellence and just the inspiration, responsibility that you've motivated a lot of people. Now, they've come on the platform, they've received awards, right? So, my question is, how do you encourage honorees to turn the recognition into continued service as well as responsibility and leadership?
Ooh, that's a very challenging area, Curtis. Um, we are One of our tasks for myself and the board that I have is how to re-engage former honorees, right? We just don't want you to take the honors and run. That's not what this platform is about. This is about being honored and then seeing how through that network, how to utilize your platform as an honoree in service, It's called servant leadership,
Indeed.
right? And I can't say we have 100% of our honorees who come back. But for those that do, when I do make that call to say, hey, I have this school out in Queens, the principal has allowed me to put together a career day platform. Can you guys come out and be a part of this? And, let's have conversations with these kids. Let's do these workshops and, let's create this incubator program of knowledge transfer. And, I am always proud to see the response to that, right? And
Indeed.
so as we continue to bring in new honorees, it's my hope that they understand that it just doesn't stop at receiving the award. The award is what publicly we've acknowledged you for. But the reward is what I say, the give back, as we reward our youths, right? And we award them with knowledge, and we continue to build. So to all of my alumni honorees, this is something we engage them, and we want them to always be able to come back and be in service to our youths and to anyone, whether it's from the entrepreneurial end, small business development end, you name it. That these honorees are a melting pot of resources based on their skills that, we can always reach back out to them and bring them on, right? And, hopefully as we move forward, they continue to support us in whatever shape and form that they're capable of doing, right? Whether that's through a donation to the platform, whether it's to come back and be a presenter of an award, or, they let us know about their services that we can vet out to to the masses. We're going to continue to look to engage, right? It's not a one-stop shop. Just don't come and get the award. That's all. Stick around for a minute and share the knowledge.
Most definitely. You've built a community, and I could tell, I felt the love, the community. I've been to your home. People might not realize you're a very warm individual, and you open your life up. And sometimes, even when you at the top of the call, this interview, you were basically saying, after a year, this new birthday, you're making adjustments. You got to really be around the people who's going to uplift you as well. And I can understand that. Because if you give, and you realize, and wait a minute, ones don't really appreciate it, you truly need to bring your service where people truly honor and appreciate the service. So it is a hope that all those honorees that have received awards from the platform can come back. And honors to your board as well. They're doing a tremendous work in just what it is. I've seen them consistently show up early, leave late at the events. I myself have been at, this year would be our, was it third event? No, fourth event. But I think the first year, just sat in. Then year two, we took on 2 tables, and now year 3, we're taking on 3 tables. And with those 3 tables, you mentioned one of the honorees earlier, which is Sheikah's Emily Nader Bay. And of course, she's the national secretary of the United Moor Science Temple of America. The national chairman, Shahid Ali Il, is going to be here. He's coming out of California for this event. And we have a returning honoree who was the keynote speaker, the national grand sheikh of the United Moor Science Temple of America, Nathaniel Booth Il, who's also author under the pen name Cosmo Il. So he's going to be here as well, supporting the venture and just everything. So he's returning. It is our hope that we can all sit down and continue the very questions that you're now building, because as Moorish American, that's one of our initiatives, to really be in the community and make our presence known. So we're going to go to a quick commercial as we go towards the last portion of the show, and I'll wrap up another commercial, and then we'll come back on Universal Pathways. And I'm right here today with our guest, Mr. Carl Gray of the Young Gifted and Black Entrepreneur Awards and the NetLinks Group. We'll be right back after this commercial.
Hello viewers, you are watching Millennium News 24. America and global villages seen America independence built by immigrants, manufacturers, roads, highways, educations, healthcare, IT, scientists, space, business development to all thousands of multimedia and all major social media platforms and news network in America. Millennium News 24, one of truthfully news networks in America and global news organizations. Please watch, follow and subscribe. We are in iOS and Android devices, Roku, Amazon, Apple devices, all smart TV, globally Horizon satellite, social media Millennium News 24, Millennium TV 24. Website www.millenniumnews24.com and www.millenniumtv24.com. Thank you.
Welcome back. This is Universal Pathways, and I'm your host, Curtis Douglas Gill. And today I'm in the studio with Mr. Carl Gray. And, the impact that this organization has been making is tremendous. Ones might not realize it, but you name the person, Mr. Carl Gray probably know them, probably have them in his phone, Rolodex. Like, seriously, the brother is well connected. And with that being said, right now, he mentioned earlier that he has, inspiration to bring the young, gifted, and brilliant Black awards, right, to Africa, introducing the Young, Gifted, and African Awards. Can you speak to that a little bit? What does reconnecting to the diaspora with Africa mean to you in practical terms, not just from a symbolic perspective?
Oh, sure, man. That has been one of bringing this platform to the continent of Africa for many years, many years. It was drilled into me from, God rest his soul, one of our supporters. His name was George Cronin. And George had met me at SOBs when we used that venue to host our awards one year. And he just loved the whole concept. George was our conduit to the United Nations. He was tied in with the African diaspora to the United Nations. And he had invited me to an awards platform there at the UN. And I said, wow, it was called the Millennium MDG Awards, Millennium Development Goal Awards. And who they were honoring was Bishop Desmond Tutu.
Wow.
And it was being hosted by Whoopi Goldberg and Armand Desante. I sat in the main rotunda and I said, wow, look back and forth. I said, wow, I would love to have YGB here. This is awesome, And then, silly me, I'm like, I wonder where Jamaica sits in this room, And it was one of those things. But the energy in that room and what the MDG Goals Awards represented was global iconic individuals or individuals who have shaped the landscape with the work that they have done. And so that was what Bishop Desmond Tutu was being honored for, right? His impact globally, right?
Indeed.
As a global citizen.
Wow.
And so when George sat with me, he's like, Carl, you have to take this to Africa, right? Just simple as that. Got to take this to Africa. And you need to take it to Africa and you need to launch it in a quadrant of Africa and then move it around the country. And I sat there and I said, what is George saying to me? Wow, is that definitely doable, right? Because we're not talking, New York City. He said, needed to move it around the continent.
Wow. That's right.
So, George passed unexpectedly some years back, and that legacy always stood out for me. Like, we need to get that over there, right? And so, for those that don't understand, it's been projected that Africa is where we, and when I say we as a collective, that is the economic boom for us in regards to resource, regards to a platform in which we can definitely create avenues to succeed. There's a lot of misnomers out there, but people don't seem to understand. Africa provides us with some of the greatest national resources globally,
Most definitely.
right?
Most definitely.
And what the intent for YGB Africa, Young Gifted Brilliant Africans, is to bring this platform there, mirror the platform, and let's get an understanding. And the list is strong of African role models and individuals that are doing awesome things, right? So I've been trying to figure out how best to do that. We've been researching where would we launch, right? Would it be Nigeria? Would it be Kenya? Would it be Ghana? Would it be, and we've been looking at different things.
Uh-huh.
And so we have good connections in a lot of those countries. And being that we decided to provide one of our global citizen awards to King Osedeya Kwesi Akufo, and he accepted. I was so flattered by that.
Wow.
Here was a king of country in our award, right? And with such humility with it, and then to turn around and to say, I want you to come over with your people to celebrate with us for our 200th year festival. 200th year festival.
Wow.
Wherein we are going to launch this platform over there. That is our goal.
Congratulations.
And we've re-engaged former honorees to be part of a delegation and the public to come over there and be a part of this. It's going to be in September of 2026. We're going to look to start putting some things together where, there will be workshops, there will be meetings and conferences around entrepreneurship and key areas, featuring some of our entrepreneurs. There'll be, breakfast with the king. We're looking to plan all of that out right now and put that experience package. But yes, if it is I would say, if that is the blessing that is supposed to be provided, because we leave everything to the Almighty. That's what we will look to try to engage for 2026 is one of our goals, and look to create a new platform, another means of celebrating our people. Period.
Awesome.
Celebrate life.
Most definitely. Awesome. You're definitely building legacy, and I could see the story that's being built as to what people say when they look back as to the contribution that Mr. Carl O'Gray contribute. Your work is tremendous, and you leaving big footprints, especially with this venture into Africa. If you could leave, one guiding principle for those walking this universal pathway that we call life, what would that be?
Tomorrow is not destined. And being that we don't know if tomorrow is destined, make sure you take advantage of what the blessings you have in front of you today, right? One of our former honorees, God bless her soul, her name was Giselle Best. She was like a right hand to us, and she passed away unexpectedly at a young age, right? But I always reflect back on her acceptance speech, and she said, her blessings are not to be ignored, because if you ignore your blessings, you're basically, creating a sin. Don't ignore your blessings. Embrace them, cherish them, because tomorrow is not guaranteed.
Wow. Wow. That is awesome. I'd be, doing myself a disjustice, or, if I did not mention the fact that the third honoree that's going to be at Mr. Cosgray event, the Entrepreneurial Awards, the Young Gifted and Black event, is also Mr. Tuffa Noor, Mohammed Noor, the very CEO of this very network, Millennium News 24, Millennium TV and Broadcasting Corporation, that I'm actually speaking on. So we're going to be there, fully locked, loaded with the whole team. It's truly an honor, Mr. Cosgray, to have this interview with you today. I look forward to continue to build with you. And again, the platform is always open to, just hear your perspective. And I too look to be in that Africa venture with yourself. Mr. Gray, thank you for sharing your wisdom and experience with us here at Universal Pathways and Millennium News 24 Network. We trust our viewers have been inspired and encouraged to walk a higher path, no matter the circumstances that they face. Please like, subscribe to the channels, and peace and love to you always. Thank you, Mr. Gray.
Blessings, Curtis.
Respect. I'm Curtis Douglas
Love.
Steele in this Universal Pathway. Thank you.